Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The moment I saw her, my heart forgot how to beat. 7 years had passed since the divorce. 7 years since I'd last looked into those ocean blue eyes that once promised forever. Yet there she was, Sarah, standing in the coffee shop across the street, her fingers nervously tracing the rim of her cup. She looked older, sharper somehow, but the tilt of her smile was the same. The same smile that used to undo me. The same smile that had lied to me. I almost walked away. But something inside me, some buried ache that refused to die, pulled me forward. When she finally noticed me, her lips parted slightly, and she froze. A storm passed through her expression. Shock, guilt, maybe even relief. Then she whispered, "Daniel, you need to know the truth." Her voice trembled, and those words hit harder than any slap. My chest tightened, as if all those years of silence had been waiting for this moment to crack open. I didn't speak. I just gestured to the empty seat across from her. She sat down slowly, like someone about to confess to a crime. The cafe hummed around us, the hiss of milk frothing, the clinking of cups, but between us there was only silence, thick and suffocating. "I didn't come here to ruin your day," she said softly. "But I can't keep this secret anymore." Secret. The word echoed in my mind like a curse. 7 years ago, when everything fell apart, I had thought I knew why. I thought she had fallen out of love, that our marriage had simply eroded under pressure and time. But the way she said secret, like it was a living thing still gnawing at her, made me realize there was something I never knew. "What secret?" I finally asked, my voice steadier than I felt. She hesitated, eyes darting toward the window as if searching for escape. "Do you remember the night we ended things?" Of course, I remembered. The shouting, the accusations, her tears as she said, "I just can't do this anymore." I'd walked out that night and never looked back. "Yes," I said quietly. "I remember." She swallowed hard. "You thought I was seeing someone else. You accused me of cheating. I swore I wasn't." My throat tightened. "And I believed you." Her hands trembled as she folded them together. "You shouldn't have." The world went still. I felt the floor tilt beneath me, reality warping around her words. Every memory, every argument, every tender moment, flashed through my mind, rewritten by that single confession. "Who?" I asked, though my voice barely made it out. She looked down, unable to meet my gaze. "It was Michael." I blinked, confused. "My friend Michael." She nodded. "It started after you took that new job. You were gone all the time, always exhausted when you came home. I told myself it was harmless at first. Just talking. But one night, I crossed the line." I leaned back, breath shallow. The sounds of the cafe faded into nothing. Michael had been my best man at our wedding. The man who helped me through the divorce. The man who had told me Sarah wasn't worth the pain. I clenched my jaw. "You could have told me. You could have let me go knowing the truth." Tears filled her eyes. "I was ashamed. You were kind to me even after I left. You didn't deserve the truth then. But you do now." Anger flared, raw and bright, but beneath it was something colder, pity. She was still the same woman who ran from her mistakes instead of facing them. "What changed?" I asked bitterly. "Why now?" She hesitated, and for a moment, I saw real fear cross her face. "Because he died last week." My breath caught. "Michael." She nodded. "Car accident. I went to his funeral yesterday. His wife, Lydia, found his old phone and showed me the messages he kept. Every one of them. Things I thought he deleted years ago." I stared at her, the edges of my vision blurring. "You mean there was more?" Her lip trembled. "It went on for months after we separated. I thought I could move on, but he couldn't. He said he loved me. I didn't know what to do, Daniel. I couldn't bear to tell you." I looked away, feeling something inside me crack and collapse. The betrayal I had buried for years was now unearthed, rotting and undeniable. "You came here for forgiveness?" I asked finally. She shook her head. "No. I came here because I need to tell you one more thing." Her voice dropped to a whisper. Lydia also showed me something else. The messages stopped after Michael found out she was pregnant. But Daniel, the timing doesn't make sense. My son, Ben, he's 7 years old. The blood drained from my face. I felt the world tilt again. I stared at her, struggling to breathe. You're saying Michael might be his father? Her eyes filled with tears. I don't know. I thought he was yours. The words felt like knives. Every second, every year I had mourned the life we lost, and now this final, devastating truth, made me realize our story had never ended. It had just been buried alive. I stood up, needing air. You should have told me years ago. I could have handled the pain then. Now it's just poison. She reached for me, but I stepped back. Daniel, please. I don't expect anything. I just couldn't carry it anymore. I stared at her one last time, the woman who had once been my world, now a stranger wrapped in memories and regret. I walked out of the cafe, the cold evening wind hitting my face like a punishment. For a long time, I stood on the sidewalk, watching the city blur around me. 7 years. 7 years believing I had moved on, when the truth had been festering just beneath the surface. And then, just as I turned to leave, my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Hi, this is Ben. Mom said you might be my dad. Can we meet sometime? I stared at the screen, the words slicing straight through my chest. Some wounds never heal. They just wait, for the day the truth finally bleeds out.